Welcome to Manifesting Through Motherhood. I'm your host, Lindsay Williams, a self-development mentor, entrepreneur and author, dedicated to helping busy mums like you manifest success, balance and create passive income on your terms. With years of experience in mindset, manifestation, fitness, parenting and business growth, I share simple yet powerful strategies to help you transform your life without the overwhelm. If you're ready to up-level your mindset, build a thriving business and create the life you truly deserve, you're in the right place. You can also find all my books on Amazon, packed with tools to help you manifest and grow. So don't forget to follow the podcast to be updated on all new episodes. And let's get going. Welcome back, ladies and gents, if you are listening. If you are new to the podcast, welcome. I've had a surge of downloads this week, so wherever you are, thanks for downloading, and I hope you're here to stay. Do reach out to me, come and follow me on my socials and let me know that you are listening to the podcast. So I just thought I'd do a little extra episode because if you are from my local area, if you're not, you can put in Google. And we was in the paper yesterday in Blog Preston. I do have an article coming out in That's Life on the, I think it's the 12th, Thursday the 12th of Feb. But my local paper picked the article up. So Tegan, who is lovely, and she out to me and said, can I share Harrison's story in Blog Preston? I was like, yeah, absolutely. You know, because he's the only person in the UK that they said he was the only known case, because he had no other, like nothing to compare it to. And all they had was other children, pictures of other children in other countries that they had the same as Harrison, a few similar age, older, and there's been some new babies that have been checked, and I think that's just because they know about it, the MSL2. So in July last year, if you are new to the podcast, Harrison got diagnosed with MSL2. So for years there's always been speculation around autism, Asperger's, everything, dyspraxia. We just couldn't pinpoint what it was, because one day he was this and one day he was stimming, one day he's doing that. And as he's got older, he can't do the things that another 15-year-old can do. He still needs help with personal care. He still has pull-ups at night. And he doesn't have them during the day because he's up and alert, but he needs prompting at school. He has hydrotherapy. He has help with his writing. He has a one-to-one at school. He's not going to do his GCSEs, and he's 16 this year. Can you believe he's going to get his national insurance number? So MSL2 is like a neurological delay. MSL2 is the name of a gene. Genes are basically the body's instruction manuals. They tell the body how to grow, how the brain develops, how cells communicate. It's all the behind-scenes stuff that we never actually think about. But with MSL2, it plays a role in brain development and learning. When there's a change or mutation in the MSL2 gene, those instructions don't get passed on in the usual way. And these can affect things like learning and development, communication, behaviour, physical development, and sometimes coordination or muscle tone. It's important to say this isn't something caused by parenting, pregnancy, diet, or anything anyone did wrong. It's genetic and it's from birth. And this is what I was worried, have I done something wrong? I did everything by the book. And I thought maybe when they did turn him because he was breech, I actually thought, did he have a mini stroke? I always blamed it on that. But I would never be able to prove it. And the doctor said, well, maybe something did happen, but we don't know. And because he did have genetics early on, but they hadn't found it. It took 14 and a half years for them to find it. So we would have never have known unless we have taken the genetic testing. MSL2 conditions are also very rare, which is why families often spend years feeling like they know something isn't quite right, but don't have answers. And for many families, getting an MSL2 diagnosis doesn't change who the child is. It does give clarity, validation, and a way forward with the support. Affects brain development. It means Harrison may learn differently, process information at his own pace, and need extra support with things like communication, understanding the world around him, or everyday tasks that other children might find easier. It can also impact things like coordination, focus, emotional regulation, and how he responds to sensory input. But noises, busy environments or changes can feel much bigger for him. What it doesn't mean is that Harrison can't learn and he can't progress or can't have a happy, meaningful life. It just means his brain works in a different way. And once you understand that, you can support your child in the way they need to, instead of trying to force them into a box that doesn't fit. And for us, having the diagnosis hasn't changed who Harrison is. He's still the same child with the same personality, the same spark and the same heart. And what it's giving us is answers, validation, and a way we can advocate for him. And it's helped us understand why certain things are harder and how we can meet his needs and where he's at. And the most important thing is that I would say is he's not broken, he's not behind because he's failed, and he's not less than. He's walking in his own path, and with the right support, understanding and love, he can thrive in his own way. And that's what I want to say to you guys. If you've got a child with SEN and you might never get answers, it is really hard. And it's such a journey. I think about everything that I've gone through. I am still waiting for a referral for I'm not going to say the name, but we all know the name. It's a service in the UK that I'm still waiting years for. Could you imagine if I'd not got the genetic answers? I would still be waiting now. And I just feel like the process is far too long. I feel like if they've got obvious displays, children and school are actually monitoring this, there should be a pathway in school that gets seen quicker, that helps with like a plan of school, an action plan, education, healthcare plan. So many children are slipping behind, like through the net. That's what would have happened to Harrison. But because I'm such a big advocate, and because I am a little bit like forward thinking, I do lots of research, I go to meetings, I know my stuff. I have to learn. I've had to learn everything. So I know the answers for things. I know what to say in meetings. I know how to challenge services and look online. Because if I challenged everything, then I wouldn't have been in a specialist school because I knew he wouldn't cope with a mainstream. And the government, as you know, the education has said, I have to still apply for a mainstream. I'm angry because it's wasting a place for another person, and my friend's son didn't get in, but then I did tell her that I'm not actually going to take the place, but I didn't know what to do, and they said I have to apply, and I did tell them I'm going to apply for specialist school, and luckily I got in the school that I did. But it's like, it was like the team that I sat with, and the day that it was like the last year of school, like, they're so overwhelmed, and the woman admitted to me that I was going to cancel this appointment. I've had enough of my job. I've had enough of this. I'm up to here with EHCP plans. The woman was devastated that did my appointment. She was ready for tears, and with the work that I do, I said, you can't carry on doing this. You can't. I said, I'm not speaking out of turn. I said, but you're in a job that's obviously stressful. You've gone into it with the love and the compassion. I suppose it's like social work. If you are a social worker, you'll know that you can't help everybody. You can't do everything. And you're not supported sometimes in the workplace. So I've had people and other parents that have had a really good process of EHCPs. Mine's been good. At first it did get rejected, but I got told that's because they're that busy they couldn't do it. And that's disgusting really, because now we know why he had all his needs. So it's just about fighting and knowing what's right, and always journal and write everything down, and all the multidisciplinary team. Make sure you know all your services. You can message me because I know lots if you're in the UK. If you're not in the UK, I don't know any other one. But I mean, we've got ChatGPT now, so they can find you everything you need to know, even down to writing letters, down to finding information and how it can advocate for you. We didn't have that then, but now I use ChatGPT for loads of things. So I just ask them just for validity really on all the information that I want to have a look at, and does this seem right? How would you read this? Obviously you can't take everything for gospel, but it's a little bit of a guide, because we do have to advocate for our children. We do have to speak out, and that's what I want to do going forwards. It's been like a journey of my manifesting in my books and helping busy mums, but also helping to send mums as well, but in a way that I want them to achieve and learn and be confident and stand up and fight for the rights and step into that main character energy. That is what I'm all about. I want to help. No one's taught me all this. I've just had to learn as I've got along, and now I could do all sorts. I could speak to so many people about it, and that's what I want to start doing, is get in front of people and talking about it and supporting. And one thing that's, for me, that's been on my mind quite a lot lately is So I have a lot of friends that obviously that are married or in relationships, and then I'm talking from like a female to a male relationship, and it always seems to be the male. Like there's been a few times of with my friends in their relationship, and a few of my friends have sent children, and it's very much different how the other person perceives everything about the child and how they take the emotions in. And I've had things from like my husband and my partner said, and this happens with family, well, they're going to grow out of it. Do you think they'll get better when they get older? How can they get better? I've had that before. I'm like, he's got a genetic, condition. How's he going to get better? Is he going to do this? Is he going to do that? I don't know. I don't know the answers to that. And then I've got like people that are not helping the partners, and it frustrates the hell out of me because I'm like, why aren't you helping? You have to be totally on board. I see so many of my friends and women burn out because I can see the sadness and the stress, and they're in a relationship, but they might as well be on their own. So this is a thing that I see all the time, and I want to help women and show them the confidence to stand up and the thing is, you don't have sometimes the time to be babysitting somebody else. Like, you have to be on board with your child. My husband had no experience with SEND. Like, when he come into my family, it was my granddad, like, he got disabled, and my family are disabled with deafness. So there's a lot of diversity in my family. He's never been around that. And the special needs, as it got along, he knew there was something different, but he knew nothing about specialist skills, and he thinks he was still going to do his GCSEs. And I'm like, no, he won't. As much as you can, till you're blue in the face, he will not get it. He doesn't read the same. He doesn't write like other children. How's he going to do a GCSE when he's not even doing the work? He's not even at that level. He's years behind. So I want to also try and tap into the male side, even though I work with women, to also help men that want to learn more. Because what I also see is how we take over as women. I do. We take the lead. We always get too involved. We don't let the partners do things. So I have tried to step back a little. I think now he's older, I'm such a worrier as well. My husband is so laid back, and I'm like, I wish I've just been like you all this time. And I've just worried so much about everything, about his health and wellness, and honestly, it's just got too much all the time. But my husband's been chill, but I don't know what's going on in his head and how he feels about things. But he said, I just let you take the role. I'll let you take the lead because I know you want to, you enjoy it. I went, it's not like I enjoy it. I said, but I know the terminology, I know what to do. So, but he's understanding it more now, and I think he's getting to an age. I think as children get older, I think it's a lot easier. So I also want to help, partners that don't understand it. How can they help their partners as well? How can you be a good partner in the relationship? How can you... Just things like, for me, is like, my husband will understand when I'm feeling like burnt out, or he'll be like, I'll take my son to school, you pick him up. We do it as a team, it's teamwork. We see when somebody's overwhelmed, there's a lot of give and take, and that's what it should be. There shouldn't be any decision making without the other partner. Like, we should be a mutual. You might have like you argue and you might not see eye to eye, but he kind of lets me do it because he knows that this is my hometown. He's from Birmingham. This is not his hometown, so he doesn't know the services and the people around here. And I know a lot of people at school and teachers. So he kind of lets me do it, but I do include him in everything, include him in the article, all the school plans, everything. He's involved in that. So he might not be up to scratch in like everything that's going on, and like we have to research so much, but he's catching up with everything because I'm making sure that I'm not taking over, because we do take over. I know we take over, even that down to shopping. And there's one thing that it's valuable that I have learned while he's been working weekends is step back, let him do the housework, let him do the shopping, because he said, you just take over. I don't get a look in. Like, even with meals, it's like, I never know what to eat, because you'll say, well, let's have this, let's have that. So I'm saying, well, what do you think? I'm going shopping, and I feel that's my fault. That's down to me. I've enabled that for many years. I've been like not taking over, but my mum's like, oh, we've got him under your thumb a little bit, and I don't mean to be like that, but I think he just saves the peace and lets me do whatever. But he obviously trusts my judgment as well, so that's a big thing. Trust is everything with, when it comes to your children and how we're going to navigate that. So if this resonates with you, it's hard because you might be the parent that's like a high rate and you're worrying, and your partner might be laid back and you're like, you don't even care, and like, why aren't you worried? And this is something that we do because we can outburst, can't we? Like, what what our emotions are and if our hormones are everywhere. So it's just being like, that's why I love journaling and all the manifesting. It's kept me calm, and I am such a different personality to my husband. I'm like 100 miles an hour and he's so chill, and he's like, oh. And now my son's getting older, and I think like a dad relationship does change like a lot, and they're like, the boys are for the mums but also very much like to do things with the dads as well. So I think he's understanding him and how he takes and how he works, but he's very chill. He hasn't got a temper. He's so calm. It's like, wow. Because he's like, you've just got to let him be the way he's going to be. So, yeah, I think that's something that I'm going to probably develop further and look into. Yeah, I'm manifesting through motherhood, but there's not just a mother in the relationship. Me and my mum, there was just me and my mum till she met my stepdad and got married. For me, I've got a husband and I've had him all the time. So, and we didn't like think we was going to have a child and like I'd be faced with all this. Who would have thought I would have had a child and would have had a genetic, something that we don't have? So it's like you don't really digest it. Like the realisation is, he's different, my child. Is he going to have a relationship? Is he going to get married? Is he going to, is he going to be really vulnerable around people? I can protect him now, but I can't when I'm older, because if he wants to do things on his own, and he can do, how am I going to protect him from the big bad world? He's so protected at home. I had a moment last week and I was thinking, he doesn't really know what the world is. And he goes out on trips with his teachers, but he's always with his teachers. He's always got a chaperone. Does he know how bad and horrible the world can be? He doesn't. And he does pick up on things, but he doesn't know. And it's like when you believe in Christmas, and then you don't. He kind of still does, but he kind of doesn't. But he's still in that world, that Kerber world and that fluffy clouds, and I love it. I love that he's in there, but it's also a negative because he's vulnerable as well. So I need to make sure that he knows about strangers and everything that's going on and boundaries and how we're going to set those. So yeah, there's lots for me to learn. So anyway, I'll try and put the link in the show notes so you can have a little bit of a read and keep you posted with everything. But yeah, it's just been crazy. I've had people connecting with me, and if you're listening to this and you've seen the article, then welcome and send me a message. I love to hear where you are, and just look after you, and write everything down. And because information is so important and key, like collecting everything, making sure we've got a bit of a system and a timeline. Timeline is everything, and having all your services numbers together and all the people. I wish I'd have done this, but I've not done it over the years. Like a timeline and who spoke to who. And who spoke to this person, because then this is your information gathering now for when you do go to like different services like ADHD or autism services. They're just baffled all the time, but now they're saying, it's under one umbrella. This is what it is now. So I kind of know there's nothing that I'm going to pinpoint, because he has traits of everything. And one day it'll be one way, one day it'll be another day, and that's it. There's nothing I can do about that. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. So anyway, thank you so much for your support, your lovely messages and your downloads. I'm just so full of gratitude at the minute for the podcast. It's just going amazing, and everybody's been so kind and caring and saying nice words. So anyway, I'm going to go now, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye for now. If you're feeling called to go deeper, to align more, create more, and really step into that next version of you, you'll find everything you need in my link tree. From my book, Manifesting Through Motherhood, to powerful resources and ways we can work together. It's all there waiting for you. Come and find me on Instagram or Facebook. I love hearing what landed with you. Don't forget to follow the podcast, and if this episode spoke to you, please share it with someone who is on their own journey too. And happy manifesting.